Fellas, I feel like every Nightfall this season is trying to compete to be the worst, most annoying experience ever. At the same time though, I do tend to like it hard. And when you ask me how hard, I just say harder. So fellas, today we're gonna give our guide for the Nightfall Hollowed Lair. Grandmasters are back, and this one is gonna make you say a few things. But starting with the modifiers, we have Festering Rupture. When defeated, Scorned Stalkers will spawn mini Screeps. Yes, mini Screeps. Now, they're pretty small, and they just come flying out of Scorned Stalkers after you kill them, and yes, they will one-bang you. We also have Unstoppable Champions and Overload Champions, Match Game, all the Grandmaster modifiers included, as well as Champions Mob. Radar is also disabled, and Fanatic's Zeal. Incoming Stasis and Splash damage increase. Now, there's some things you could possibly do in this Nightfall that might keep you alive. Maybe Concussive Damage. I was actually rocking that. Arc Damage Resist. There's a lot of things that does arc damage in this Nightfall, but to be perfectly honest with you guys, the only way to survive in this Nightfall is literally to hide, pray, and kill things before they kill you. Not necessarily in that order. Now, starting with loadouts, guys, I tried a lot of different things today, but what really actually opened things up for me was actually TQ's Divination for a couple reasons. Number one, I can utilize this bow with Overload Bow to deal with Overload champions. Number two, the tracking on it is really good. So good, in fact, that it actually picks up the little mini Screeps that can literally fly underneath your eye and you'll never even see them. And TQ's Divination easily dealt with those mini Screeps. Again, the mini Screeps don't take a lot to kill. It's just seeing them, at least in time, that's the problem. By the way, I don't know who at Bungie created these things, but you have a very twisted sense of humor. Now, the other things I was rocking is, of course, Aeon Swifts. I was actually here on Revenant, but I love Swifts with Sect of Insight and, of course, Reactive Pulse, as I gain an overshield when going for finishes, and I also provide heavy ammo for my teammates. The other thing I was taking advantage of was a blinding grenade launcher. You don't have to rock ignition code or even blinding nades for that matter, but they do help, especially if you find yourself in a pinch. And my heavy weapon is, of course, this God Road Reed's Regret, which would help lessen Bombad in doing damage. Now, lessen Bombad both were rocking Shadebinder. Stasis turrets were constantly being thrown out, and freezing everything that could walk was pretty much the name of the game. And again, like most combinations, Ice Flare Bolts with Bleak Watcher, it's such a good combo, guys. Along with fragments like Whisper of Durance, this keeps those enemies slowed down and locked into place, which is what you're definitely going to need in the boss room. Now, weapon-wise, Les and Bombad both were taking advantage of Sleeper. You don't have to rock Sleeper. We did do 1,000 Voices for a little bit, but 1K Voices just isn't great on ammo economy. Sleeper is much better, and with me providing ammo with Aeon Gauntlets, they were able to keep heavy up pretty much at all times. Now, with them rocking linear fusion rifles, Unstoppable Fusions is the best way to deal with unstoppable champions in this Nightfall. And of course, Particle Deconstruction is the go-to mod to help with dealing damage. Outside of that, guys, some other mods that I was taking advantage of included things like Resonant Siphon, Thermoclastic Strike, so I could stun Overload champions just in case my bow didn't do it. I was also using things like Fire and Ice, where defeating champions would spawn random arrays of solar and stasis wells. Well of Potency, where picking up those matching elemental wells grants you super energy. And some other mods that really synergize well here with me freezing enemies was actually Elemental Shards, where your stasis shards counts as a stasis elemental well for you. You can see how this is dipping into things. That in combination with the mod Power Preservation, where my super final blows create extra orbs for my allies. Now, with all that being said, guys, those are pretty much the builds. I would just say for the most part, one person does need to be rocking arc. There's really no arc shields until you get to the final boss, but every now and then the boss will have an arc shield and you need to shoot that out. Outside of that, I was rocking a solar bow. Les was rocking a void bow, which pretty much covered the rainbow. Now let's get to the Nightfall itself. The Nightfall, guys, actually opens up here on the Tangle Shore. Sometimes you'll catch a public event and a rally flag right there, so you can actually get your super off. I wouldn't suggest Sparrow and Pass these enemies, as many times you'll be killed in the process, or at least one of your teammates will be killed. So deal with those enemies before moving on to the next phase so you and your fire team can move safely. The first room, though, will have an Unstoppable Champions, some Screeps, some other enemies. Honestly, TQ's did such a good job with its explosions dealing with these enemies. So much so that we're actually going to be doing another build here soon with TQ's, because I just forgot how much I love this bow. And considering some things are synergizing with it, we're going to play with it some more. But upon dealing with this room, you'll move up. You'll have an Overload Champions, a number of ads down here. And up in like the rafter areas, guys, you will have snipers. I would say for the most part, make it a priority to deal with those snipers, as they can easily one-shot you. Now, to combat that a little bit, we were actually using a lot of healing rifts in combination with the stag. Bombad was rocking stag. He was throwing rifts in those doorways, which would keep us safe. Now, going into this next room can be extremely annoying, as you have that really thick boss right there in the middle, that Fanatic's chosen. But really what's the most annoying part is after you kill a lot of the stalkers around that Fanatic, lots of those mini screebs are going to be coming down. If you're rocking TQs, guys, just have it ready to track those screebs immediately. Blow them up, mess them up before gunning down that boss. Now, Les was rocking a fusion rifle too, by the way. He would actually use this to get the full stacks of particle deconstruction on enemies, so he would actually move up a little bit. You can't do it from afar, but if you get close enough to get the full shots off before actually starting your linear fusion rifle damage, you'll have full damage. Of course, if you're rocking things like 1K voices, that's not a problem, or even weapons like Vex Mythiclass. Now, upon dealing with that mini boss, you can move up just slightly, and you'll have an unstoppable champion out there, a number of ads, and a sniper off in the distance. Guys, you want to make sure you deal with that sniper. He is so annoying, man. And you'll forget about him because he'll hide and peek right when you least expect it. But dealing with this room, guys, you'll have some ads at the end, and then you'll move to the tank room. Now, the tank room starts off with an overload and an unstoppable champion right there in the middle, as well as a number of ads, as well as snipers in the back. Guys, this room is so annoying. Honestly, this is a room to go ahead and start popping some supers, get everything frozen, and just lock things in place. Now, you may think standing in this doorway is going to keep you safe. No, actually it won't. Many times we died right here in the doorway. My suggestion for this room, at least for these first set of ads, is someone to pop a super, get freezes off, but not necessarily shatter yet. Have everyone move out of the doorway up to the stairs, and then proceed to shatter and clear as many ads as you can, just to reposition yourself. If you do this right, you're gonna just be dealing with just the champions. All the rest of the ads will be dealt with, and during the process, you can deal with the sniper rifles on the sides, allowing you to just focus on the champions. Now, that platform in the middle, standing on that will actually spawn the next phase of this Nightfall. Now, you want to stand on it, but right before it fully goes down, jump off. For some reason, guys, if you jump off right before it fully goes down, the tank won't come out. Just the ads and the champions. This gives you the perfect opportunity to deal with all these ads and champions without having to deal with the tank at the same time. Then after clearing these ads out, you can then start the next phase to deal with the tank, which is much easier as you don't have all these ads and champions all raining down on you at the same time. Trust me, guys, this will help you a ton right here. Now, moving into the next few rooms before you get to the big room where you have the 2 platforms you have to lower down. You have some ads and some champions to deal with. This is a perfect opportunity to get some finishes off, provide heavy ammo for your teammates. Again, watch out for screebs, especially the mini screebs, as there's lots of stalkers. And then going into this big room right here. This is a room you want to take slow and methodical. Even if you feel like you can handle all of it, I want you to still be slow and steady in this room. Take each platform one at a time. Begin to lower it down, but as soon as ads spawn, jump off and head to the back. Deal with each one of these waves of ads one at a time, guys. Because if you try to bring that platform all the way down, especially all the way down on both sides, you're going to have everything spawn on you at once. And it just turns into a situation where you can get overwhelmed. So again, one platform at a time. And as soon as one of the ads start to spawn, and you'll see that little cloud of smoke pop up, indicating that the ads are coming in there, jump off the platform and deal with those ads and watch out for the mini screebs. Luckily though, if you are in the very back, those mini screebs actually have a tougher time getting to you. But still, be very careful. And this is something that the TQ's divination user needs to be looking for, always needs to be tracking, because sometimes the screeb will like get stuck underneath something and all of a sudden it just appears. But TQs will pick up on that location. Now, upon getting both of these platforms down, amongst dealing with a number of champions, you'll also have a mini boss and more champions spawn. Really, this whole process is just super hectic, and hopefully you'll have plenty of heavy ammo to deal with these champions from afar after focusing firing each one of them. Again, whoever it is that's rocking Aeon Gauntlets, always be trying to get finishes off, but don't necessarily die for it. Normally single out different champions to do that. And if you do this right, guys, you really won't have to ever step away from the back part of that room. Now, after clearing out this room, you're almost to the boss face. You've got some ads in front of you, a couple single champions that are great to go ahead and get finishes on, and then the bridge area, which is honestly one of my favorite areas, even though sometimes I get wrecked on it. But a great area though, especially if you got weapons like TQs or something that's doing explosive damage. You'll also have an unstoppable champion that you can bait to you to get that final finish off to top off heavy ammo for your teammates. Now, moving into the boss room. This is a room that if you do not control, man, this place can get chaotic real quick. If you're rocking stasis turrets, I want you to throw Stacy down every single encounter when these ads are coming in. Right, left, in the middle. And actually, we found success in throwing the stasis turret kind of close to where we're standing to pick up not only on what's in front of us that we're attacking, but the mini screebs that spawns in after killing those stalkers. Now, the room opens up with some ads on the right side. Deal with those ads and then proceed to do damage to the boss. Now, be mindful of the arc AoE damage fields that he will put under you. He will spawn that, and man, does it melt you fast if you stand there for too long. So if you see that start to actually get spawned in, get out of the way. Now, upon getting him to 2/3 health, he will teleport back and begin to spawn a number of ads. Now, we actually got overwhelmed here a couple of times, and that's actually because I felt like our team was being a little too conservative with our supers. You'll be amazed, guys, with mods, if you're rocking high enough intellect, with power preservation and other things. If you're chaining orbs, you will get your super back. So pop those supers, guys, back up, let it do its work. And even if you pop 2 supers, that's okay. Just make sure you're picking up the orbs, especially with power preservation, for that extra super energy. Now, upon clearing out all these ads, the boss will spawn back in the middle, and this is when the fanatic actually will begin teleporting you up in the air and sucking you down. So you want to immediately do damage to the boss while you're in the air. There are ways around this, like you can pop a super to get out of this, but the main thing is if he sucks you all the way down and does his melee attack, you're pretty much wiped. We didn't get close enough today, so I never actually got to get hit by him, but in GMs, I'm assuming it would kill you, as pretty much everything in this Nightfall can kill you. But after doing enough damage, the fanatic would teleport back again and spawn yet another set of waves. Again, like I said a second ago, you will have your super back. Pop that super, chain damage. The only problem here is you need to have probably more than one person, like have someone pop the super initially, and then the second person wait about 10 seconds, maybe 15, and then pop their super. Again, we were being a little too conservative with our supers. But clear out those ads, and man, does it get hectic in this room at this part. Bombat actually had to clutch up, come back around, get the reses, and if you do find yourself in a sticky situation in this room, just keep rotating. Now, after clearing out this set of ads, the boss will spawn right back in. And this is when you want to just go ham with all the damage you got left. All the heavy, all the supers, everything you got to finally finish it off, because the fanatic will just keep spawning those ads in, and it'll just be very, very hectic. Regardless though, guys, your Nightfall rewards for this week are Izumi and Plug 1. Good luck. The Adept versions are dropping. Plug is actually a very good fusion rifle. I put it up there with main ingredient in the sandbox. And Izumi is one of the best feeling PvP sniper rifles, and it has a pretty solid PvE role as well. So good luck, guys. I know I've been playing other games, been playing New World right now. I'm enjoying my time over there, but I can't wait to get back on Destiny for the Halloween event. I've got a lot of weapon reviews that I still need to go through, and I promise you, we'll get to it. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.